Ever feel like scrolling through Instagram is messing with your brain? Well, you're not alone, and guess what? The truth is more complicated than just social media is bad. Buckle up, because we're diving deep into the myths and realities surrounding social media and its impact on mental health. And trust me, it's a wild ride. The myth: social media is purely toxic. Social media platforms have often been painted as the villain in the mental health narrative, blamed for everything from rising anxiety levels to feelings of isolation. But labeling it as purely toxic ignores the complex reality. Recent research shows that social media serves both positive and negative roles in our lives. On one hand, users can experience a sense of belonging and find communities where they feel safe and understood. For many, platforms like Twitter, Reddit, and Instagram serve as spaces to discuss mental health openly. However, prolonged exposure to certain toxic content or negative interactions can reinforce feelings of loneliness and anxiety. The balancing act between toxicity and positivity is where things get complicated. Rather than banning social media outright, experts suggest curating the content you consume, focusing on uplifting and meaningful interactions. The reality: it's all about moderation. The golden rule of the internet remains true: everything in moderation. While the harms of excessive social media use are well documented, recent data from 2024 continues to emphasize that how much time you spend online isn't the sole factor affecting your mental health. It's also about what you're engaging with during that time. In fact, many individuals who use social media for limited productive purposes, like keeping in touch with loved ones or seeking mental health advice, often report feeling a boost in mood and well-being. On the other hand, those who are mindlessly scrolling for hours, passively consuming unrealistic representations of success or beauty, are far more likely to report symptoms of depression, anxiety, and loneliness. It's no longer a question of, is social media bad? But rather, how are we using it? For example, digital wellness advocates now recommend apps that help users limit screen time and promote more mindful interactions. Myth: more social media equals to more friends. It's easy to believe that having thousands of followers equals having a rich social life. However, studies have shown that this is far from the truth. The number of connections on your social media doesn't necessarily reflect genuine friendships or emotional support. Instead, users often experience superficial interactions that fail to provide the depth of real-life relationships. Researchers have found that relying on online friendships can actually increase feelings of loneliness, especially when users compare their lives to those of their seemingly perfect social media peers. Moreover, the curated nature of social media highlights only the best moments of people's lives, which can make users feel inadequate by comparison. This is particularly troubling among younger users, who are more vulnerable to self-esteem issues. Genuine friendships require more than likes and comments. They involve emotional investment, time, and face-to-face interactions. So while your follower count might look impressive, it doesn't necessarily equate to meaningful social connections. Reality: the double-edged sword of connection. The connectivity offered by social media is a double-edged sword. While it can bridge geographical gaps and help people stay in touch with friends and family, it also fosters feelings of inadequacy, fear of missing out, and even isolation when not used mindfully. A 2024 report highlighted that while users initially feel a sense of connection, over time, frequent use of social media leads to dissatisfaction as they compare their lives to those they see online. On the positive side, platforms like TikTok and Instagram have become spaces where people can openly discuss mental health issues, share coping strategies, and offer support to others experiencing similar struggles. Mental health professionals also use these platforms to break down barriers to accessing help by offering advice and educational content. So while social media can fuel feelings of disconnection, it also presents opportunities for connection, if used with intention. Myth: social media doesn't affect body image. It's no secret that social media, particularly image-based platforms like Instagram, has been a breeding ground for unrealistic beauty standards. The pressure to conform to certain aesthetics is palpable, and young users, especially teens, are disproportionately affected. A study in 2024 confirmed that the more time young people spend on social media, the more likely they are to compare themselves to influencers and celebrities, leading to issues like body dysmorphia and eating disorders. But here's the twist: it's not just young women who are affected. Increasingly, men and non-binary individuals are also feeling the pressure to look a certain way, exacerbating body image issues across genders. This myth continues to harm users, yet with increasing awareness, some influencers and campaigns are pushing back, promoting body positivity and authenticity. Reality: mental health awareness is rising. As much as social media is often blamed for contributing to mental health struggles, it's also become a beacon for awareness and activism. Since the start of the pandemic, mental health conversations on platforms like TikTok, Instagram, and Twitter have exploded. More people than ever are openly discussing their mental health struggles, and influencers who promote wellness and self-care are gaining popularity. The rise in mental health awareness campaigns on social media has also led to a surge in users seeking help, whether that's through virtual therapy platforms or self-help resources shared by mental health advocates. This shift shows that social media isn't all doom and gloom. It's also empowering users to take control of their mental well-being and break down stigmas surrounding mental illness. Myth: the younger generation is doomed. If you read the headlines, it might seem like Gen Z is hurtling toward a mental health apocalypse, all thanks to social media. But the reality isn't so bleak. While it's true that young people are particularly susceptible to the negative effects of social media, they're also the most proactive about their mental health. In fact, young people are more likely to seek therapy, discuss mental health openly with their peers, and use social media as a tool for mental health advocacy. Generation Z is using these platforms to raise awareness, share personal stories, and challenge harmful societal norms around mental health. While they face unique challenges, this generation is also breaking barriers, making them less likely to suffer in silence compared to older generations. So while the road ahead is challenging, they're far from doomed. Reality: there's a gender divide. The impact of social media on mental health is not uniform across all genders. Research in 2024 shows that females and lesbian, gay, bisexual, transgender, queer individuals are more likely to experience the negative effects of social media, such as anxiety, depression, and body image issues. Young women, in particular, are bombarded with images of unrealistic beauty standards, which can lead to harmful behaviors and mental health issues. In contrast, males are less likely to report feeling pressure from social media, although this doesn't mean they're immune. The stigma surrounding male mental health continues to prevent many from seeking help, which could lead to underreporting of symptoms like anxiety and depression. Understanding these differences is crucial to addressing the mental health crisis effectively. Myth: social media addiction isn't real. Can you really be addicted to social media? The short answer is yes. Like other forms of addiction, excessive social media use can stimulate dopamine production in the brain, creating a reward cycle that encourages users to keep coming back for more. Over time, this can lead to behaviors resembling those of substance abuse, such as withdrawal symptoms and an inability to reduce usage despite negative consequences. A 2024 study shows that social media addiction can lead to severe disruptions in daily life, including poor academic performance, trouble sleeping, and increased anxiety. In extreme cases, it may require professional intervention. Just like any addiction, it's important to recognize the signs early and take steps to address the issue before it escalates. Reality: detox days work wonders. Digital detoxes have become increasingly popular in recent years, and for good reason. Taking regular breaks from social media can have a profound impact on mental health. Research shows that even a few days off the grid can reduce anxiety, improve sleep quality, and boost overall happiness. For individuals experiencing the negative effects of social media, setting boundaries, such as limiting daily screen time or muting notifications, can help create healthier online habits. Mental health experts are advocating for more digital detox days as a regular part of self-care routines. Apps that limit screen time or remind users to take breaks have also gained popularity. So if you're feeling overwhelmed, maybe it's time to put down the phone and reconnect with the world around you. And that's a wrap on today's deep dive into the impact of social media on mental health. If you found this video helpful, be sure to hit that like button. Have your own thoughts or experiences to share? Drop them in the comments below. I'd love to hear from you. And don't forget to hit subscribe and ring the notification bell so you never miss out on future insights and breakdowns on trending topics.